Yes, absolutely. These are serious crimes where the organizers and pushers of mass violence will go to prison for a very long time.
That's right. Okay.
And I hope they see this segment.
Well, we'll play it again. Jessica.
Okay, well, liberal Tesla lover here. My sister has two in her family, so have not thrown any Molotov cocktails recently. But I wanted to talk to you about what Doge has been doing. So you've been making cuts to a lot of the agencies that have open investigations and regulatory battles with your companies. At the same time, you continue to get billions in government contracts. Tesla gets billions in subsidies. How do you explain that to the American people?
Well, everything that Doge does is an open book. So I think the most transparent the most transparent organization in government ever. Every single Doge action is listed on the Doge.gov website. It's also listed on the X handle. So if anyone has a concern about any one of those actions, they can bring that up. They can raise that. And I do want to say, like, sometimes we make a mistake. Nobody bats 1,000. We will at times make a mistake, and we'll act very quickly to correct it. I am under such an extreme spotlight, so much scrutiny, that it's literally impossible for me to get away with anything nefarious. And obviously, nor do I wish to. So this is a case where we have radical transparency. We're actually willing to admit that we do make mistakes. Often people are not willing to admit they make mistakes, but we are. But we want to emphasize we fix them quickly, and we're trying to do the right thing for the American taxpayer, for the American people. And I think history will be the judge that what we've done here and what we're doing is a very good thing for the strength and future of America.
Okay.
So Jessica, oh my goodness, Jess Tarlov, she tried to smear Elon Musk. She tried to claim that, he's manipulating government contracts. But here's the truth. Everything Musk does is public and transparent. You can go to Dove.gov. You can go to his X account. There's a Doge X account as well. Every move is logged, posted, and open for scrutiny. And instead of dodging the question, Musk dismantled her argument with facts, logic, and transparency, something the media refuses to practice. She tried to score gotcha by saying, Musk defunded agencies to avoid investigations, but Musk owned it. Said mistakes happen, and they do. People aren't perfect, and they get fixed when they realize that they made a mistake quickly. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is called accountability, something you'll never hear or see from the press nor a politician. Meanwhile, just acted like, he's hiding in the shadows while protecting the real corruption inside the government. Musk doesn't need to lie, doesn't need to cheat either. He's not exploiting the system. The man is trying to fix it. And that's the problem. He's challenging the establishment. So they're desperate to take him down. But Musk didn't just defend himself. He exposed the media's agenda. And if history's the judge, these people, like so many times other than this one, they're on the wrong side of it. Like, share, subscribe to the channel. We got a couple more clips to share. Let's keep going.
I'm going to go back to Elon Musk for a second, because, it is true that he spent $20 million on affiliated groups that were involved in this race. Is it a risk for Republicans to put all their eggs in that basket? Not only did he spend the money, he came to the state. Right. He came to the state. He talked about cutting Medicaid, Social Security through Doge, bringing those issues up.
Actually, he never talked. He explicitly said in Green Bay that he would not cut Social Security.
Well,
that's exactly what he said.
Talked at his rallies.
No, other people said about that. But I was there. I watched him. Okay. He did not say he was going to cut Medicaid.
Other people at his rallies who work for Doge, who work for Elon Musk's organization, talked about those issues.
No, I was at the rally. Not one of them said that.
No, they did not. She kept trying to, restate something. You get called out once. She tries to restate it. Oh, well, Elon didn't say it. It was other people, members of Doge. They didn't say it. CNN is full of it, man. They're full of sugar honey iced tea.
That's what protesters said, but nobody there actually said that.
Do you think that there are risks here?
There are. If people believe the lies that people are saying about that. But that's not at all what they said. If people believe that Medicaid and Medicare is going to be touched, that's just a flat, outright lie. What he talked about are people who are over 120 years old, who clearly are not alive.
Well, the reason I brought it up is
Social Security or Medicaid.
Okay, well,
that's totally wrong. I think
just to sort this out, the reason I brought this up is because the claim here is that there's massive, widespread fraud, and that's all they're addressing. that's obviously a disputed claim because it's not true.
That's not actually the case. There is a lot of fraud, but there's also just a lot of wasteful spending. There's a lot of positions that are redundant. There's a lot of programs that they're supporting that just don't make sense. These people are so disingenuous.
That 120-year-old people are getting Social Security checks. The checks stop at a certain point automatically because those checks and
But those Social Security numbers get counted for various parts of the federal government. So they don't get a benefit directly to those people, but they count for money that gets allocated to different departments in their budget. And they shouldn't be. If somebody's no longer alive, they shouldn't be able to count that.
I guess my fundamental question was, what are the risks here of Elon dabbling in elections for Republicans going forward?
Well, again, I think in the end, he's going to have to continue to make the case. Part of the reason why, when we talked about our recall, what flipped things for us early on in that recall process, Time magazine called me Dead Man Walker. And the reason was because all the narratives coming out from the press, coming out from the left, were about all these horrible, egregious things. Once we started to give examples of things we were actually doing, not the things the press said, not the things that our opponent said, but the things that we were actually doing, when we ended up going before the voters in the final election in the recall, we actually won by more votes than we did. So I think that what's paramount for him or anyone else aligned with him is keep giving actual examples of what they're doing. Set aside things like Social Security and make it abundantly clear that that's not being touched. But if there's waste, fraud, or abuse, spell it out, make the case, and bring it to the voters.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And these people got a whole lot of smoke for Elon, putting money behind different candidates on the Republican Party, but zero smoke for Reid Hoffman, zero smoke for George Soros, zero smoke for any of these people that just overwhelmingly support the Democrat Party and their candidates. I mean, these people are ridiculous, man. The hypocrisy is on 1,000 with these people. It really is.
Against you now. First they hated him, now they hate both of you.
Well, I think we're seeing an antibody reaction from those who are receiving the wasteful and fraudulent money.
They're being exposed.
Yes.
Nobody wants to be exposed.
I'll tell you a lesson I learned at PayPal. You know who complained the loudest? And the quickest and the loudest and with the most amount of righteous indignation? The fraudsters. That's who complained first, loudest, and they would generally have this immense overreaction. That's how we knew they were the fraudsters. Mm-hmm. That's how we knew. There's the tell.
Hey, a hit dog will holler. Simple as that. A hit dog will holler. All the people that are out here, complaining, talking about, it's not that much fraud if there is any at all. These are the main ones that are probably defrauding the government. And based off of what we've heard and based off of what we've seen and based off of what I've actually witnessed myself, there's a lot of waste. There is a lot of waste in the government. I've experienced it myself. These people are ridiculous, man. A hit dog will holler.
I think what we actually have to get to are the people who are organizing and paying for these attacks and protests. That's who we really need to go after. Because the people who are actually throwing the Molotov cocktails, they are the foot soldiers. Right. But we need to go after the generals, and we're going to do so. The president has made it very clear that we're going to go after those that are paying and organizing these violent attacks. And Attorney General Bondi has said the same thing. I believe that is exactly what will happen.
Do you know who they are?
We're coming for them.
Do you know who those generals are?
We know. We do.
Yes. And hopefully the prosecution will be for RICO and an organized criminal enterprise, which makes the penalties even more serious. And now to Jessica.
Absolutely. What we do know is that someone is putting a battery on these people's backs. There was a guy out there protesting Tesla, and he flat out said it, hey, I'm being paid to be here. And a lot of these protests, these people are professional protesters. They don't actually have a grievance, but they'll have a grievance for the right price. And that's ridiculous. And whoever it is that is paying for these people, that is putting the batteries on these people back, that are cutting these people checks to get out here and cause havoc and chaos, those people, they need to be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. And I'm with Judge Janine. They need to get the RICO. They need to get the RICO charge. This is a criminal enterprise. That's exactly what it is. It's a criminal enterprise that are paying people to basically inflict domestic terrorism in this country. And it's got to stop. And an example has to be made ASAP.
Thing is, I keep saying this and people don't like it. They get upset. The Trump derangement syndrome is real.
Yeah.
You can hate someone so much that even if they do something
You're
right,
blind to it.
right.
Yeah.
You know that? And you can like or dislike Elon, but you don't have any right blowing up someone's Tesla.
Right. Exactly.
You don't have any
breaking the law.
right.
Yeah.
I mean, who do you think you are?
Yeah.
You know, you don't have any right going in and destroying.
They drew a dick on his Tesla.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that, by the way. That was
you understand what I'm saying?
a
white dick too, small.
Small white dick.
But think about that.
Now, to be fair,
they should get 40 years.
But yeah, so that does happen.
That's the hypocrisy.
Yeah.
When you say, okay, I'm upset that you are doing Doge and you're closing down jobs, but you know what? You should close down Tesla. What about those people that work there?
Dude, I literally said that I was on this guy's podcast, and I was like, listen, I totally understand you. Theo Vaughn's podcast, and I was like, I totally understand that, like, you people who are critical of Elon, there's reasons to be critical. Everybody should have the freedom to be critical, right?
Right.
And I go, but hoping that Tesla shuts down,
Right.
like, I understand you're upset that people lost jobs. It doesn't improve the situation if you make more people lose jobs.
Right.
It is
He's
an
the
American
richest
car
guy.
company.
Right.
Yeah, he's the richest guy in the world. He's going to be okay.
Right.
He's not the one hurt.
Right.
The people
Right.
that work there. So you're upset these people lost jobs. You're like, I know the solution. More people lose jobs.
Think about it.
Yeah, it's stupid. But these people don't think. They act emotionally. They don't act logically. They act emotionally. Tesla employs well over 100,000 people. If I'm not mistaken, I believe it's like 125,000 people in this country, mainly in Texas, others in California. And the whole goal is, we're going to cost these people their job. Not to mention, people paid a pretty penny for these cars. So you're just going to go and just, destroy their cars, key them up, spray paint them, Sharpie marker them. I mean, these people are lunatics, to just being nice. They're lunatics. And these people, they need to be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. And honestly, you can have a gripe and beef all you want with Tesla. Don't buy the stock, don't buy the car. But when you go and start destroying businesses, you start defacing people's property, that's when you have crossed the line. You want to protest and picket, by all means, go and do that, but keep it peaceful, keep it civil. But these people are emotional nut jobs. That's what they are. That's what they are. But I want to hear from you guys in the comment section. Let me know what you guys think about this. Like, share, subscribe, turn the notifications on so you never miss an upload. Consider joining the ARP family. Consider it. Or if you want to support the channel another way, you can buy your man a coffee. That link's in the description box below. I appreciate the support, the love. Keep God first in your life. Stay prayed up. We'll catch up with you all next time. Peace.
Vibes so raw, can't hide the